What if the key to fighting back against high blood sugar, stubborn cholesterol, and that frustrating belly fat wasn't in a pharmacy, but growing on a branch? It might sound too good to be true, but stay with me, because today we're not just going to talk about health tips. We're going to talk about hope.
Mike had always believed that a man's hands told the story of his life. His own were a roadmap of 68 years, of framing houses, of holding his wife's hand, of pulling his daughter up onto his shoulders. A wave of dizziness washed over him, and he had to brace himself on the fence post, his breath coming in short, sharp gasps. It wasn't the effort, it was something else. It was the slow, creeping fog of his body working against him, the numbers on the doctor's chart that spoke of type 2 diabetes. It was a thought so clear and so terrifying. It stole the air from his lungs. It was the old olive tree in his neighbor's yard. It was Mike deciding to become an active participant in his own health, not a passive victim of it. He started researching, talking to Susan, and making small, deliberate changes. He started exploring the simple, powerful gifts from nature, things he'd overlooked his whole life. He learned that some of the very leaves he'd walked past every day held incredible power. He wasn't just a tenant in his body anymore. He was starting to feel like the homeowner again, ready to make repairs, to reclaim his space, to live fully within his own walls. It was ancient, gnarled, and had survived droughts, storms, and decades of neglect. Yet, it stood, it endured, it even produced fruit. A new thought, quiet but defiant, cut through the fog. Nature doesn't just give up, it finds a way to fight. It finds a way to heal. Maybe the answers he was looking for weren't just in sterile doctor's offices and prescription bottles. Maybe part of the answer was right here, in the quiet wisdom of the natural world he loved so much. My own body feels like a stranger's house I'm trapped in. He was just a tenant, living under the rules of a landlord he couldn't reason with, watching the beautiful home he once knew slowly fall into disrepair, of cholesterol that was inching into the red zone, of a weight around his middle that felt like an anchor. He felt the suffocating grip of his own body's rebellion, and for the last 2 decades, they'd been the hands of a gardener, coaxing life from the soil in the small backyard that was his sanctuary, and still have the energy to dance with his wife, Susan, in the kitchen. He was saying no when his grandson asked him to chase him across the lawn, not because he didn't want to, but because he knew he'd be breathless in 10 seconds. It was the feeling of his belt buckle being on a different notch than it was last year, a constant, physical reminder of the weight that wouldn't budge. The stubborn fat that the doctor said was the most dangerous. It was the quiet sigh of defeat when he'd look in the mirror, not recognizing the tired man looking back at him. Each one was a tiny paper cut on his soul. He was the man whose greatest pride was his family and the home he'd built for them. But now, that pride was being chipped away. Every meal Susan cooked, something he used to cherish, was now a source of anxiety. Is this too many carbs? Will this spike my sugar? The joy was replaced by calculation and a quiet, persistent fear. He had become a man defined not by his passions, but by his limitations. But lately, his hands, and the body they were attached to, had started to tell a different story. A story of betrayal. He was trying to stake a row of tomato plants, a simple task he'd done 1,000 times. But as he stood up, the world tilted. That man in the photo felt like a stranger. He was Mike the carpenter, the man who could work a 10-hour day. The daily erosion was the hardest part. He was the small surrenders. He sat there one evening, the sky turning a bruised purple, and a single, devastating thought surfaced from the depths of his frustration. But then, his eyes fell upon something he'd seen 1,000 times but never truly looked at. This was the beginning of a new chapter. It wasn't a miracle. It was a shift.
Mike's story isn't about some magic potion. It's about a journey back to yourself. It's about the profound realization that you have more power over your health than you've been led to believe. Hi there, friend. If you're over 60 and might struggle with blood sugar swings, rising cholesterol, or that stubborn weight feels familiar, then this might be the most important thing you watch all week. We're often told the only answers lie in stricter diets, more expensive treatments, and a cabinet full of pills. But what if there was another layer of support? What if nature itself provided a toolkit filled with gentle yet powerful allies for our health? Today, we're going to dive deep into that toolkit. We will uncover 8 remarkable leaves, starting with a foundational helper you might just be ignoring, and building all the way up to what I consider the ultimate heart and sugar secret. You absolutely must stay with me until the very end, because the final leaf we'll reveal contains a special compound that science is now showing can support your metabolism, protect your heart, and help your body burn fat more efficiently, even while you rest. It's the one that could truly be a game changer. Let me know in the comments if you've ever used herbal leaves for your health. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, where we bring you natural science-backed tips for stronger living every week. And just a quick, important reminder, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health journey is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet or health regimen. Our goal is to empower you with knowledge so you can have the best possible conversations with them. Ready? Let's begin our journey. Our foundational helper number 8, the overlooked garnish. Let's start with a leaf that's so common, it's almost invisible. It's the little green sprig on the side of your plate at a restaurant, the one most people push aside. I'm talking about parsley. The problem for many of us, especially as we get older, is that feeling of being heavy, puffy, and bloated. Your rings might feel tight, your ankles might swell by the end of the day, and you carry a frustrating water weight around your belly that makes you feel sluggish and uncomfortable. This isn't just about comfort. That excess fluid puts extra strain on your kidneys and your heart. Now, many people think this is just a normal part of aging, something you have to live with. But the truth is, your body often just needs a little help flushing out the excess sodium and water that causes feeling. To truly grasp this, let's use an analogy. Imagine your body's tissues are like a household sponge. When you consume too much salt or your circulation is sluggish, that sponge soaks up and holds on to excess water. It becomes heavy, waterlogged, and doesn't function well. You feel puffy and weighed down. Therefore, what you need is a gentle way to wring out that sponge, releasing the trapped fluid so it can feel light and efficient again. This is where parsley shines. It's one of nature's best and gentlest natural diuretics. It helps your kidneys do their job more effectively, encouraging them to flush out that excess sodium and water. The result? You feel lighter, the bloating subsides, and you take a bit of that unnecessary pressure off your entire system. On top of that, it supports healthy blood sugar and is packed with vitamins. So the next time you see parsley, don't push it aside. Chop it up and add it to your salads, soups, and meals. It's a simple, foundational step to feeling less weighed down. The refreshing regulator, number 7, more than just fresh breath. Next up is a leaf with a scent that instantly brings a sense of clean, cool refreshment. Peppermint. We love it in tea, in gum, in holiday treats. But its power goes far beyond its delightful flavor. A common and deeply frustrating challenge after 60 is a sluggish metabolism. It feels like you just look at a piece of bread and gain a pound. The energy levels you once had are gone, replaced by afternoon slumps. This metabolic slowdown is a key reason why it becomes so difficult to manage weight and blood sugar. You might have tried cutting calories or exercising more, only to see minimal results, which is incredibly discouraging. But the issue isn't always just about calories in versus calories out. It's also about the efficiency of your body's engine. Think of your metabolism like a cozy, crackling fireplace on a cold day. In your youth, that fireplace roared, burning through fuel, calories, quickly, and giving off lots of heat and energy. As we age, that fire can die down to smoldering embers. It burns fuel slowly and inefficiently, leading to less energy and more leftover ash in the form of stored fat. As a result, Our goal isn't just to add less fuel, but to find ways to gently stoke those embers back into a steady, efficient flame. Peppermint can be a wonderful, gentle stoker for that metabolic fire. Studies show that its compounds can help boost your metabolism, encouraging your body to burn more calories naturally, even when you're resting. It also soothes digestion, reduces the bloating and gas that can make your belly feel swollen, and helps stabilize blood sugar, which reduces those powerful cravings for sweets. A simple, soothing cup of peppermint tea isn't just a relaxing ritual. It's a way to tell your body's engine to run a little more smoothly and efficiently. The aromatic energizer number 6, a secret for your cellular power plants. Let's move on to an herb whose wonderful fragrance fills the kitchen and brings to mind delicious Mediterranean meals: rosemary. We sprinkle it on chicken and potatoes, but its benefits penetrate right down to the cellular level. One of the invisible reasons we feel tired, gain weight, and struggle with our health as we mature is a decline in our cellular energy. It's a deep, fundamental fatigue that coffee can't fix. This isn't just in your head. Your body's literal power-producing machinery is slowing down. We often blame our tiredness on a lack of sleep or simple aging. However, a huge part of the problem lies within our mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside every single one of our cells. They are responsible for turning food and oxygen into the energy that fuels everything you do. Let's use an analogy here. Imagine every cell in your body is powered by tiny, rechargeable batteries. When you're young, these batteries are brand new. They hold a full charge, recharge quickly, and provide strong, consistent power. As you age, these batteries start to wear out. They don't hold a charge as long. They take longer to recharge, and their power output becomes weak and unreliable. Consequently, you feel that deep fatigue, your metabolism slows down, and your body can't burn fat as effectively. Rosemary contains compounds like carnosic acid that act like a maintenance crew for these cellular batteries. It helps protect the mitochondria from damage and supports their ability to function efficiently. In essence, it helps your body burn more fat by boosting the performance of its natural energy engines. This means more stable energy for you, better blood sugar control because your body's using its fuel properly, and a little extra help in the battle against stubborn fat. The ancient guardian, number 5, calming the body's silent fire. Now let's talk about a leaf with a velvety texture and an earthy aroma that has been revered for centuries, not just in cooking, but in healing. Sage. If you're dealing with stubborn belly fat and blood sugar issues, this ancient herb might be a new best friend. A huge hidden driver behind so many of our modern health struggles, from weight gain and insulin resistance to heart problems, is something called chronic inflammation. It's not the acute inflammation you see in a sprained ankle. It's a low-grade, silent fire burning inside your body, day in and day out, disrupting your systems. We often focus on the symptoms, the high blood sugar, the weight gain, without addressing this root cause. But if you don't dampen that internal fire, you're always fighting an uphill battle. To understand this, imagine your body's internal communication system as like the electrical wiring in a house. When everything is healthy, the signals flow perfectly. Chronic inflammation, however, is like having old, frayed wiring that constantly sparks. These sparks send out danger signals, disrupt communication between cells, and cause systems to malfunction. Your metabolic system gets confused, telling your body to store fat instead of burn it. Your cells become resistant to insulin, letting sugar build up in your blood. So then, the most effective strategy is to repair that wiring and stop the sparking. Sage is a master electrician in this analogy. It is packed with powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds, like rosmarinic acid. It works to calm that internal fire, soothe the system, and allow your cells to communicate properly again. This helps improve insulin sensitivity, making it easier for your body to manage blood sugar. It helps calm the inflammatory processes that drive fat storage, particularly around the belly. It's an ancient guardian that helps protect your body from the inside out. The humble detoxifier number 4, the power in the pesky weed. All right, let's talk about a leaf that most people actively try to get rid of. It's the one with the cheerful yellow flower that pops up in our lawns, the dandelion. But before you call it a weed, you should know it's one of nature's most potent detoxifying tools. One of the most overworked and underappreciated organs in our body is the liver. It's our master filter responsible for processing everything we eat, drink, and breathe. When your liver gets sluggish and overburdened with fats, sugars, and toxins, your whole system suffers. This is a primary reason for slow metabolism, difficulty losing weight, especially belly fat, and poor blood sugar control. We might blame our diet or lack of exercise for these issues. Yet if your body's main processing plant is clogged and inefficient, no amount of effort will yield the results you want. Think of your liver as the central oil filter in your car's engine. A clean filter keeps the oil pure, allowing the engine to run smoothly, powerfully, and efficiently. But if that filter gets clogged with sludge and debris, the dirty oil circulates through the engine, causing it to run poorly, overheat, and eventually break down. This means that one of the best things you can do for your overall metabolic health is to support and cleanse that filter. Dandelion is a champion for liver health. It acts as a tonic, helping to cleanse the liver and supporting its ability to process fats and filter toxins. A healthier liver means a better metabolism. Dandelion also works as a natural diuretic, helping to flush out the excess fluid and sodium we talked about earlier. By supporting your liver and helping to reduce water retention, Dandelion provides a powerful 1-2 punch for feeling lighter and helping your body function more cleanly and efficiently. Now, when it comes to a potent herb like dandelion, it's especially important to approach it with awareness. If you decide to try dandelion tea or greens, start with a small amount to see how your body responds. As always, it's wise to discuss any new additions like this with your doctor, especially if you have ongoing health considerations or are on medication, particularly for liver or kidney function. Our goal here is empowerment through knowledge, so you can make the best choices for your unique situation. The sacred balancer, number 3, taming the stress hormone. Let's explore a leaf that's revered in Ayurvedic medicine, often called the queen of herbs. This isn't the basil you put in your pesto. This is holy basil, or Tulsi, and it's a true ally in the fight against a major modern enemy, stress. We all know stress is bad for us, but we often underestimate its direct physical impact, particularly on belly fat and blood sugar. When you're under chronic stress, whether it's from finances, family, or just the worries of the world, your body produces a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol's job is to prepare you for a fight-or-flight emergency, and one way it does that is by telling your body to store energy as fat, especially around your vital organs in the abdomen. We often try to fight this belly fat with crunches and cardio. But if your cortisol levels are constantly elevated, your body is getting a continuous hormonal signal to store fat in that very spot. You're essentially trying to bail out a boat while someone else is still pouring water in. Imagine your body has an internal emergency alarm system. Cortisol is the siren. In a real short-term emergency, the siren goes off, you deal with the threat, and then the siren turns off. But in our modern world of constant low-grade stress, it's like that alarm is stuck in the on position, blaring all day long. Therefore, your body remains in a constant state of emergency, hoarding fat, raising blood sugar for quick energy it never uses, and causing inflammation. The key is to find a way to reset that alarm. Holy basil is renowned for its adaptogenic properties, which means it helps your body adapt to stress. It doesn't numb you, but rather it helps to modulate your cortisol response. It's like a skilled technician who comes in and helps reset that blaring alarm back to its normal, healthy standby mode. By helping to balance cortisol, it breaks the hormonal signal that screams, "Store belly fat." This makes it easier for your body to let go of that stubborn weight, helps to stabilize blood sugar and mood, and brings a sense of calm to your entire system. The metabolic master key number 2, intercepting sugar at the source. Now we're getting into some truly powerful and more specialized leaves. This next one is often overlooked in the West, but is a superstar for metabolic health, the mulberry leaf. The constant battle for anyone with or at risk for diabetes is the blood sugar roller coaster. You eat a meal, your blood sugar spikes dramatically, your body releases a flood of insulin to cope, and then your sugar crashes, leaving you tired, foggy, and craving more of the very foods that caused the spike in the first place. This violent up and down cycle is incredibly damaging to your blood vessels and is a primary driver of fat storage. Many approaches focus on managing the sugar after it's already in your bloodstream. However, what if you could address the problem earlier? What if you could moderate how much sugar gets into your system in the first place? To truly grasp this, let's use an analogy. Imagine your digestive system is like a river, and the sugar from your food is the water flowing into it. For many people, after a meal, it's like a floodgate opens, and a massive, uncontrolled torrent of water rushes into the river, causing the banks to overflow and creating chaos downstream. As a result, your body, the downstream village, has to go into emergency mode to deal with the flood. The mulberry leaf acts like a sophisticated lock-and-dam system right at the source. It contains a unique compound called DNJ, 1-deoxynigericin, which partially blocks the enzymes in your gut that break down carbohydrates and sugars. This doesn't mean you don't get energy from your food. It means the sugar is absorbed much more slowly and steadily. Instead of a flood, you get a gentle, manageable stream. This prevents the dramatic blood sugar spikes, reduces the burden on your pancreas, and helps stop the vicious cycle of spikes, crashes, and cravings that leads to fat storage. It is a true master key for metabolic control. Given its direct impact on blood sugar, it's particularly important to discuss using mulberry leaf with your doctor if you are on any medication for diabetes, as it can have a powerful effect. The ultimate heart and sugar secret. Number 1, the power of the ancient tree. We've covered some incredible ground, from humble helpers to sacred balancers. But we have saved the most powerful, most comprehensive leaf for last. If you are looking for one natural ally to stand with you against the trifecta of high blood sugar, high cholesterol, and stubborn belly fat, this is the one to pay attention to. We are talking about the leaf from the same ancient, resilient tree that inspired Mike, the olive leaf. The problem we face as we mature isn't just one issue, it's a cascade. High blood sugar contributes to high cholesterol. High cholesterol and inflammation damage our arteries, and a sluggish fatty liver makes all of it worse. It's a metabolic storm, and trying to fix each problem individually can feel overwhelming. We are often given separate medications for each issue and told to follow different restrictive rules for each one. But what if there was something that could address the entire storm at its source? What if one single leaf could help bring harmony to the entire metabolic system? Think of your metabolism as a complex and beautiful orchestra. When it's in tune, it plays a perfect symphony of health. But in many of us, the orchestra is in chaos. The sugar section is playing too loud, high blood sugar. The fat section is out of control, high cholesterol. And the percussion is sluggish and offbeat, slow metabolism. It's a cacophony. Therefore, you don't just need to quiet one section, you need a master conductor to step in and bring the entire orchestra back into harmony. The olive leaf, and specifically its most powerful compound, Oleuropein, is that master conductor. First, it addresses the sugar section by improving your body's insulin sensitivity, helping your cells use glucose for energy instead of letting it run rampant in your blood. Second, it calms the fat section by helping to lower the bad LDL cholesterol and raise the good HDL cholesterol, protecting your arteries. And third, and this is incredibly impressive, it goes to work on the liver, helping to reduce the buildup of dangerous liver fat and activating fat-burning enzymes throughout your body. It's one of the best natural options for full-body metabolic support, calming the storm, and conducting your body back toward a symphony of health. And there you have it, the ultimate heart and sugar secret. The humble olive leaf. It might seem simple, but as we've explored, its ability to bring balance to your body's interconnected systems is truly remarkable, which is why we built up to it as our grand reveal. So, we've covered a lot of ground today. We started with our foundational helper, Parsley, to help us feel lighter. We moved to the refreshing regulator, Peppermint, to stoke our metabolism. We explored the aromatic energizer, Rosemary, for our cellular power plants, and the ancient guardian, Sage, to calm inflammation. We discovered the power of the humble detoxifier, Dandelion, for our liver, and the sacred balancer, Holy Basil, for stress. We then unlocked the metabolic master key with Mulberry Leaf, and finally revealed the ultimate heart and sugar secret of the olive leaf. Each one is a stepping stone, a tool you can use, a piece of nature's wisdom you can incorporate into your life. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Perhaps it was the idea of taming the stress hormone with holy basil, or maybe it was our ultimate secret, the olive leaf, that you're curious about. Which one are you thinking of trying first? I would genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comments below. Your experience might be the very thing that inspires someone else watching today. If you found this journey through nature's pharmacy valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps our community grow. And of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies designed to help us all live stronger, healthier lives. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.